the best of the week on Relevant Radio.
Let's go to Amari now in South Bend, Indiana. Good morning, Amari.
Hi. I just had a question about marriage. Me and my partner, we've been together for 2 years and some months now, and we've started discussing the future, like marriage and all of that. And I told him it was very important that my kids be raised in a Catholic private institution, as was I, elementary to college. And he doesn't really fully agree with that because it feels like it'll make him weird, or
it'll make the kids weird?
Make the kids weird, yeah.
Have you asked him if he thinks you're weird?
No, I did not ask him, but he just wants them to be more socially, diverse. But, the Catholic schools are amazing. And it's not just the schooling, but the religion itself. Being raised in the church is very important. He doesn't necessarily believe in the church, and I have a certain ideology on family going to church on Sundays or Saturdays with just the entire family,
Yeah. So when you said your partner, I'm not sure how to interpret that. Is he your boyfriend? Are you living together?
Yes, he is my boyfriend. We will not live together until we're married.
Very good. Very, very, very good. So you're not engaged yet, but that's possible, right?
No. Yeah, it's coming soon.
Yeah. Well, I'm happy for you if this is the right path for you. And of course, I have no way to know, or I have no business saying anything about that, but I can speak in abstract terms if you don't mind. And that would be, pay careful attention here to what looks like a big red flag. And that is that you are religious and you believe in Jesus, and you want to do the right thing and not do the wrong things when it comes to your relationship with him. And that's all great. I'm happy for you. I really am. But the big red flag is he doesn't seem to share your convictions, and even, just sort of a disdain for the idea of kids going to Catholic school because he thinks that'll make them weird or something like that. To me, that would be a very big red flag if you're contemplating marriage. And I'll leave it at this. I'd like to hear more from you if you'd like to talk about it more. But my point is simply that marriage has enough difficulties as it is. You're taking two people living together now, trying to make decisions. All of the ways in which marriage is wonderful, it also includes difficulties and decisions that are not always, both the husband and the wife may not necessarily agree on things. So my thought is always, why start marriage with an existing difficulty, with an existing impediment or block in the middle? It'll just make things more difficult as time goes on. So ideally, and the advice I've given to all of my daughters and all my sons is, find a Catholic that you can marry so that your marriage starts in unity. The most fundamental thing of all is your belief in God. You're a follower of Jesus. You're a Catholic, and all the things associated with that. And if you start marriage with a man who holds the same convictions that you do, your marriage is going to be much easier. But if you get married to a man who thinks it's weird to go to a Catholic school, and maybe he might pay lip service to the idea of raising the kids Catholic, but when push comes to shove and Sunday morning comes around and he'd rather, watch the football game than go to church, it's highly likely that you'll be taking the kids to church by yourself. And if you consult statistics, as I do from time to time, you'll find that in families like that, where the wife is faithfully going to Mass on Sunday and she's teaching the kids to pray, but dad isn't, and he's at home or whatever, when those children grow up, the percentage of them who stop being Catholic is very high. For some reason, when the father is not leading in the Catholic life in the family, he's not the head of the home in terms of leading the family toward God and going to Mass, the kids in huge numbers fall away from the Catholic faith, even though the mom is faithful and consistent. So I offer these to you not to rain on your parade or anything like that, but just to say from where I stand, when you're telling me these things, I can see this red flag. I just want to share that with you for your consideration.
No, thank you so much. We will talk about that more.
He may be a wonderful guy in every respect, so no disrespect toward him. But These things are very common. I would very much like your marriage to be happy and long-term and united and all those things. Does he have any faith at all?
Yes, he does have faith. We've talked about it before. He feels like the Catholic Church feels more like a cult at times, with Mass and everything. But he does go to a non-denominational church from time to time, every once in a while. I haven't seen him go in a while, but we did talk about him converting to Catholicism, but he just isn't necessarily on board with that. And I'm respecting his beliefs, but it's important to me that we share somewhat of the same ideology about God.
Very important. And I'm sure you're very much in love, and there's a lot about him that you really like and all that. So without denying any of those things, I can tell you that if you continue down this road, you can expect there will be long-term problems. And yes, God does work miracles of conversion, certainly. And it may be that he'll become the best Catholic ever. Maybe. But probably not likely. Let me recommend a book to you. I feel like I'm a physician giving you a prescription, but I think you'll find this helpful, Amari. It's a book by Steve Wood, if you want to jot it down. It's called The ABCs of Finding a Good Husband. Okay. And my thought would be, he also has another book, which is a different book with different information. It's called The ABCs of Finding a Good Wife. And my thought would be, maybe for Valentine's Day, you can get a copy of The ABCs of Finding a Good Husband for yourself and read it and really think about it, and give him the other copy. And just say, since we're thinking about marriage, I think these books, which come highly recommended, would be useful for us to consider some of the questions that we have to face at some point. That could be really helpful.
Thank you. I will get those. And you said by Steve Wood?
Yeah, Steve Wood, and his website is dads.org, dads.org, dads.org. I get no benefit from this whatsoever, nothing for me at all. Just the satisfaction of knowing I can do something to try to help you.
Thank you so much.
If you feel like it, Amari, 6 months from now, if you want to check back in and let me know how things are going, but I'm giving you the advice I've given all my daughters and my granddaughters now. And I think it's advice that will help you in the long run.
And thank you for that so much. I will look into that, and I will talk to him about reading that. I think
super.
He would be open to do it.
That's great. That sounds really good. Well, I appreciate the call, Amari. And yes, if at some point down the road you'd like to circle back and share how things are going, I'd be very interested. Thank you. Like what you just heard? Share it with your family and friends. And thanks for listening.